In this video, I'm going to talk about the difference between self-expression and ego expression. Sit tight. Welcome back to another video. I'm Jen. All right, self-expression versus ego expression. What is the difference? There are many differences between these two things, let me just tell you. But the main difference is something called attachment. We all know what attachment means, right? It's attaching to things outside of ourselves. Okay, we know we attach to like material possessions and money and wealth and fame and fortune and attention and all that kind of thing. So this is the main difference. So if you're in a state of self-expression, you are in a flow state, a more creative state. This is coming from a place of living in the now, the present moment. It's coming from a place of non-judgment. So if you think about somebody like the Dalai Lama, this is a good example of somebody living in self-expression, or somebody living in a very flow state, somebody who's very unattached, non-judgmental, just living life through their heart. Whereas somebody who is living more from a place of ego expression, they may be somebody like a celebrity or a politician is a great example, where they use PR to kind of spin their image. This is somebody who is very affected by others' reactions of them, okay? So they're attached to other people's reactions of them. So this is more of a resistant state, right? It's more, where you have flow state, and the state of being just self-expression is coming from your right brain, okay, your creative side. Whereas ego state is coming from your left brain, okay, just the logical side. The ego expression is going to be attention seeking, all about power, control, needy in a lot of cases, so very concerned with the reaction of other people. That's how you can tell the difference. Now, when you start living your life from a more authentic place, start living as you, become more transparent in your life, okay? Start living in this flow state. There's some risks involved. There are some risks involved, and some of those risks are being prone to attack from other people who are still living in a state of ego. Okay, so they're going to try and attack you, or they may see you doing certain things with your life, or becoming more transparent where you're a little more open and vulnerable to the world because you're living as your authentic self. Therefore, people may try to sabotage you, okay? They may do that because they don't want to feel abandoned. They may be jealous in a lot of cases. So you have to understand that with transparency and living an authentic lifestyle, there are some risks involved. But the difference is whether you believe what the other person says, whether you accept what the other person says, or you learn how to just observe and not react. Okay, because chances are, if you're already living in that state of self-expression or that flow state, or you're living in a state of the now, right, in the present moment, you're in your center screen, then you're not going to be affected by other people's attack. But if you're living in a state of ego, then you're going to be very affected by other people's comments and criticisms and other people trying to sabotage you. You may begin to believe them as truth. Right? Because again, you're attaching. Even so, like a lot of times ego is, clutter is a good sign that you are still in this ego state, because what is clutter? Clutter is attachment, right? We're attaching to certain things in our life, and it could be emotional clutter. That's why also, if you're living in more of a flow, authentic state, that people are going to try and push their clutter on you, right? Because again, you're in this open, vulnerable state. They're going to try and push their clutter. And, you don't have to accept it. So again, think of this place of non-judgment, non-attachment, flow state, joyful. You're just wanting to express yourself, okay, for who you are. Just because you feel it within you, not because you're trying to spin your image in some way. So there's no polarization, there's no charge, okay, with being in a flow authentic state. Whereas ego state, there is a negative or a positive charge involved, right? Polarization is involved. Okay, an imbalance is involved. So that's it for me today. Just wanted to kind of explain the difference between the two. You know, we should really all strive to come from a place of just self-expression, flow state, living authentically, releasing our clutter, our own clutter, so we're not being affected by other people's clutter, and just living in a state of non-judgment, non-attachment, accepting who we are as human beings, and yeah, just living in a joyful state for ourselves. So with that being said, I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. I put out a video every single morning, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So have a great one. Peace.